Maayong gabi sa tanan and Merry Christmas. Alang kanatong tanan nga matinud-anon nagalagad sa tong Ginoo. Ani na usab kita sa tong pamalandong ning kagabion aron sa pagsaulog nato sa gitawag Christmas Eve. Bora maglagyo kay ta. Okay, kinahanglan pa man ko mag-record og video bisa naara ko sa personage. But by the way, Merry Christmas once again. And I pray nga malipayon kamong tanan dining pagsaulog karon sa Pasko, ilabi na sa pagkatao sa atong Ginoo. Ang atong pamalandong nining nga kagabion naguluhan, the gift of Christmas. Ang gasa sa Pasko. Christmas is celebrated to remember the birth of Jesus Christ, who Christians believe is the Son of God. The name Christmas comes from the Mass of Christ. Mass of Christ. Meaning, service, Mass, which sometimes called dunay Eucharist and dunay kanang gitawag communion. Mass of Jesus or Mass of Christ, the Messiah. Is where Christians remember that Jesus died for us and then came back to life. The Christ Mass or Mass of Christ service was the only one that was allowed to take place after the sunset or before the sunrise next day. So, munang tungang gabi igid siya ginasaulog, no? So people had it at midnight. So we get the name Christ Mass or Mass of Christ, to shorten it, Christmas. Christmas is now celebrated by people around the world, whether they are Christians or not. It's a time when family and friends come together and remember the good things they have. People and especially children also like Christmas, as it is the time when you give and receive presents or gifts. Christmas presents or gifts is one of the main reasons we have the custom of giving and receiving gifts or presents at Christmas. And it is to remind us of the presents given to Jesus by the wise men. Pagiwali sa ato ang lay preacher Ramilito Samal, itong tulo ka mga gialamong tao ka naghalad, they have the presents, gifts like the frankincense, gold, and the myrrh, where in fact gold is always associated with kings and Christians that believe that Jesus is the King of Kings. But sadly to say, sisters and brothers, most of us, our attention is often given more to the boxes and wrapping paper, kanang pinutos ng daan na naadira atong attention, than to the actual gift of Christmas. Usay naikot ta diya sa regalo, no? Manang pagmaabot ng Pasko, unsa may regalo nimo sa ako, no? Usay naka-attention ta diya kaysa sa niadtong tinuod gyud nga gasa o regalo sa Pasko. But then let us ask ourselves, what is the gift of Christmas? Christmas is a Spanish influence celebration that we Filipinos have embraced wholeheartedly. And we have localized it and made it a unique tradition that has made the country world famous. Gani ingon sila, ang Pilipino daw mo ay pinakataas kayo og Christmas season. As Filipinos, we have our own way on how we celebrate Christmas. During Christmas Eve, parehas karon, Christians go to church to hear the last simbang gabi or the Christmas Eve service. This is followed by a midnight feast called Noche Buena. The Noche Buena is a big open house celebration with family, friends, and neighbors, dropping in to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Pero murag lisod ni karon kay new normal man, no? Tungod nining pandemic. So it is better for us to stay at home, no? Paghuman sa tong panimbawon karon. But this pandemic cannot stop us in our worship at this Christmas Eve. But then we ask ourselves, no? But before that, dunay puy uban nga mga kabahin sa tradisyon sa Filipino. Kung magsaulog Pasko, dunay parol making, panindot ay Christmas tree, no? Caroling, guban pa. But then we ask ourselves, what then this Christmas mean to me? Is it just a tradition? Is it just about giving and receiving gifts from our ninong, and friends? Brothers and sisters, shortly let us try to look some gifts that Christmas brings. Remember this, that the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ Himself. Again, the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ Himself. Kamo daw, the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ Himself. Sabay daw ta, the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ Himself. Yes, that's the greatest gift of Christmas, having Christ into our life, inviting Christ to be with us every day. This is the greatest gift we ever have. Without this gift, we have no salvation. This kind of greatest gift brings us, upat lang atong yandam. First, love. Remember that the gift of Christmas, which is Christ Himself, brings love. So, it brings love to those people, especially katong mga tao nga nabati nila that they are not loved. We acknowledge and recognize the effort of people or some of our members. Diin doon ay mga inisyatibo diya sa paghatag gift giving, no? Gift giving sa prisuhan, no? Okay. If we try to look at their situation, magpasko sila nga nasa prisuhan, then we cannot question nga nung naa sila diya. Hindi man kita'y nagunit silang kinabuhi. Wata kabalo kung unsay mga hinungdan nga nung naa sila diya. Is it true? Or is it part of kanabang frame up lang ang uban? No? So, we need to share this love because the gift of Christmas, that is Christ, brings love. In the first place, dili ta ngay tigugmaon sa Ginoo. We are not deserving to be loved by God. But yet, because of God's love for us, in John 3:16, for God so loved the world that He gave His only begotten Son. For God so loved the world. Because of God's love for us, then He sent us His Son. And this is the greatest gift. And all of us who receive this kind of gift, which is to love, are inclined to love one another. Second, it brings joy, kalipay. Remember when the angels appeared to the shepherds, the angel said, "Do not be terrified or fear not, because I announce to you the good news that will give great joy to all people." So, let us encourage one another, especially those people who are grieving, who are magulanon ini nga ang panahon karon. to celebrate Christmas, that despite of the situations, challenges, we must be joyful because it is God, it is Christ that God gave us to celebrate this Christmas. So as a song goes, joyful, we adore thee. Third, forgiveness. There was a story like kanila exchanging gift, no? Tradisyon na magunis tao. Exchanging gift or exchange gift. Bunot-bunot daan. Then it happens nga ang nabunutan sa tao, katong tao nga iyang gikasukan, mauna no'y tagaan ni regalo kay maoy iyang nabunutan. Suko kay siya atong tawana. But then, tungod kay exchange gift man lagi, mao man to yung nabunutan, iya gihapon gipalitag regalo. Bisan suko kay siya nato. Niabot ang Christmas Eve, nag-exchange gift sila, kitagaan niya regalo, katong tao, pero wa niya napasaylo. So, forgiveness is what Christ brings as a gift of Christmas. Sa panahon kini kun ang mga igsoon, dunay away, dunay lalis, it is a time for reconciliation and to forgive one another because it's Christmas. So if there are people nga dunay inyong gikasukan, pasaylo sila. Ug mamalandong punta kung doon na ba'y mga tao nasuko na to. Even me as your pastor, forgive me if there are things or if there are misgivings from me as your pastor. Let's forgive one another because the gift of Christmas, which is Christ Himself, brings forgiveness. And the fourth one is peace. So una, the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ Himself. But this greatest gift, which is Christ, brings love, joy, forgiveness, and last is peace. Peace, kalinaw. The concrete peace that we can experience can be experienced in the other dimension of life. But we must be peaceful in our living. We strive for it kung dili man ta malinawon. Because Christ Himself brings peace. To those who are comforted, they are disturbed in the coming birth of Christ. But to those who want peace, they get it. I would like to sing sa prayer ni Saint Francis, if you know him. Siya sa missionary nga. Gideklara siya as saint because of his passion for peace. O katong familiar kay tani ini, no? Make me a channel of your peace. But other tune ang akong kanta. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, thy pardon, Lord. Where there is sadness, let me sow love. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Make me an instrument of your peace. So, mao na ang upat ka mga gidala ni ining greatest gift for Christmas, which is Christ. It brings love, joy, forgiveness, and peace. So, kung kita mohatag og regalo, it must be with love. It must be with joy. It must be with forgiveness and with peace. And remember, let us live this, embody this, love, joy, forgiveness, and peace. For the greatest gift of Christmas is Christ Himself. And remember, as we celebrate Christmas, Christ is a must. So, invite Christ in your life because Christ Himself is the greatest gift. Merry Christmas and advance Happy New Year to all. Nabi, Merry Christmas from Nabi. God bless, mga igsoon.